Hello? Anybody in here? Hey, innocent. Glad to see you. Ooh, sorry. Excuse me. What am I doing? Okay, here's what I was going to discuss tonight. Summer Wells, GoFundMe, Sonia Jordan. She's an interesting subject. Ernie Shell and his uncle, John Paul Madden. I think I'm going to, we'll get down to John Paul Madden. I think I'm going to... Uh-oh. Did I have an echo? Do I have an echo? Can you hear me, innocent? I didn't mean to have that on. Gotta get my photos. Okay, so I think I'm gonna wait to really delve into the Summer Wells thing. Hi, Skunk Ape. Welcome. Hey, Eve. Aren't you over in Ryan's? Hi, Lion Mama. Welcome. What is tonight? Sunday. I'm always happy to see you. You're always in such a good mood. I think I'm gonna wait for the crap. Working on my other phone, and how do I turn? You guys know I'm technologically impaired. No, I don't want to do that. What do I want to do? I want to shut my... Okay, mute. There we go. You'd think I'd have this down by now. Oh, Angel Eyes? Hey, Bonkers. Hi, Angel Eyes. Hey, Lickety Split. I don't have anything all that earth-shaking tonight. I'd like to get that Ellen Greenberg thing together. Such a massive amount of information and videos and things. I have everything in my other phone, and it's hard for me to get everything in a consistent timeline, but anyway, so I think I'm going to wait and delve into the Summer Wells stuff when I do a little more digging. However, we will get down to the Sonia Jordan. That's kind of that involves Summer Wells and a creator that's digging up crap to muddy the waters, I guess. Someone not very reliable. Okay, so where should we start? I guess we'll start with the GoFundMes. I kind of wanted to discuss, and this is something that has been in the news a lot lately. First, it started with what's that guy's name that died of cancer, and then they had just bought like a $4 or $7 million ranch, and plus they had another house in California that they were renting out that was several $1 million, and then his wife started a GoFundMe. And then who was the next person to die? And they got a GoFundMe. It was another famous rich person. And then I see Ron Duguay, who is a famous retired Canadian hockey player. He's dying, and he's got a GoFundMe. What do you think about these people? Oh, I don't know how that got on there. I didn't share that. So what do you guys think about these multimillionaires that start GoFundMes? Because here's a lot of people that don't even have one home, much less two $7 million homes. God, I can't think of what the other one was. His wife is an actor too. Do you think that's reasonable to ask, I don't know, people living hand to mouth to support your mortgage payments on a $7 million ranch? I don't know. It seems like, I think a GoFundMe kind of takes away from community. I mean, used to be when people had, an illness or cancer or some chronic condition or, died unexpectedly, the community came together. They had fundraisers and benefits and, cookouts. And I think that GoFundMe's taken the community, the sense of community out of it. Yeah, lickety split. I think so. But yet I see, not a lot, but quite a few creators that, want people to donate, and they're like, oh, I don't get paid till Friday, or I don't get paid until next week. And I'm like, here these people are literally living paycheck to paycheck, and then paying for, birthday gifts or a vacation for a creator. I don't know. Yes, thank you, Bonkers. Thank you. Exactly, that was it. And his wife is also an actor and is worth quite a bit too. I don't know. And I've seen a handful of people that threw up a GoFundMe the day after they lost a spouse or child, and then it turns out that they actually were the ones that killed them. I know a lady and her two sons killed her husband and threw up a GoFundMe. Yeah, I don't watch network television, so I don't know who these people are. Vanderbeek, wasn't it? Wasn't that the other guy's name? And I see Sarah Palin is nursing Ron Duque, and I believe she has some money. Yeah, I don't know. I have trouble asking people for help anyway. Certainly not money. I think I'd be too embarrassed. I was ransacking the cupboards for food a couple months ago at the end of the month, but I would rather starve than ask anybody for money. Okay, so let's see. What was my next topic? Sonia Jordan. Okay, here we get into some of the summer wealth stuff. Let me get down here to my Sonia Jordan screenshots. Sonia's been around for years and years and years, and she's, I hate to say nutcase, exactly. And I can post some of these screenshots. But she's a little, what do we want to say, off the rails. So what I've seen lately is a creator, I'm cloning myself. You have two phones. I'm not going to have as much going on here as Ryan does. He's been doing some good work lately, it looks like. Okay, so Sonia, very involved in a lot of different cases, very involved in the Summer Wells case, in a lot of all the little Facebook. She's on Facebook. I don't think she's on YouTube, but very involved. Okay, and here I saw a creator reaching out to her when she made one of her pronouncements or claims, and call me. It's a creator that's known as a tragedy pimp and doesn't really make some outrageous claims like that the Kansas moms were fed to the pigs and things like that. She recently said that Candace Wells' dad was not Jim, that she thinks it was Uncle Warren. I can tell you 100% that was not true. Candy and Jim were in the carnival, met in Texas, got married, had Candace, I think 10 months later, fairly quickly. And Uncle Warren was not in Texas and nowhere around. So to think that, Candace looks like Warren. Well, Warren looks just exactly like Candy. So, I mean, to just throw that out there and someone's parentage, oh my God, it's like everybody calling people pedophiles lately. That seems to be the trendy thing to do. Hey, Caitlin. Hey, Wendy. Did I miss anybody? I don't think she's on YouTube, Innocent, unless I'm mistaken. The creators saw her on Facebook. Okay, so I'll post some of these wacky things, but she's in all the Summer Wells Facebook groups, okay? So she is claiming that Diane Downs, she's claiming that Diane Downs was her mother. Or Diane Downs killed her mother. That's what she says. My mom's hitman was denied parole again. Then she's got her fence decorated with a bunch of Confederate flags and a sign that says Jesus loves white children. Okay. Let's see. She showed up in Oregon. Lori Daybell went to Oregon and went live, and my brother shot her with one of those guns that people said Don kept letting us play with. So she's claiming that she is Summer Wells. She's been doing that for 4 years anyway that I know of. Yeah, Innocent, I knew that was going to happen. That's fine. Maybe they'll learn something. Let's see. Okay. Something about Donna Serafina. She's saying that Josie Wells, this is my brother. I'm well aware of how old he is. She said he'd be 60. I hope the nut jobs truly get what they deserve and soon. TBI should be shut down for allowing the clown show you have put my family and I through. It goes on and on. She posts Josie's picture. Please, if anyone knows where he is, let her know. Okay, here is Stephen Smith. Remember him? He was, I believe, beat to death 2015. And that was a homicide. She said, who was it again that was coaxing my teen boy to pluck and shape his eyebrows? This woman is a nutcase. And any creator that's going to use her as a source is nutso. Oh, it's so rough. Nothing will bring you back, my little boy. She's talking about Stephen Smith again. Not even justice, punishment of the offenders. I've been waiting so long. Say his name. Let's see. I donated a little bit of money for the ongoing homicide case. Family said donating to a stranger. Nah, girl, that's your sibling. Okay, now she's upset about Josie being put up for adoption. America's kids belong to Oregon. She's tagged all these human services and children's services and the governor of Oregon. She wants to help Josie. Okay, let's see. Who is this? A singer. Come on, bitch. You killed 15 of my family members with you and your fucking chicken. Let's take it out into the parking lot. I'm down. I know bonkers, but this lady's bonkers. She is literally nuts. Not Murdaugh. Oh, that's good. I haven't kept up with that. Okay, here is what's his name from MASH? Oh god, I'm terrible at current actors. Your family members killed my family, my brother, my son, his kids, my daughter, my toddler, my son Michael, named after my dad, a kindergartner, 5 years old, a 3-year-old toddler. What's his name? Oh, Innocent. She's the lady that's just involved herself in Summerwells and claims she is Summerwells. But we're not done. Here is a judge. Revoke this judge. He killed my husband, and he is a traffic coordinator. Okay, she claims Madeline McCann is her daughter. Summerwells is her. She has, that's my photograph, my eye color. She's a well-known face from Salem, Oregon, which actually is where she lives. Okay, I think that's it. So if you see her, stay far away from her because she is. Oh, she claims that she's Lisa Marie Presley at times, and she also claims that she's Priscilla Presley. And Sarah Palin. She claims she has an account with Sarah Palin as her av. She's got more than one account. Okay, so what's next? Let's talk about Ernie Shell. I just have a real problem with Degenerate Lost and why it seems like, I don't know, he's even told people not to come to my channel, not to believe anything I say. I don't understand why it's not just one person that is the mouthpiece. And I haven't said any lies. I've never lied. And I don't know why you would think I would lie. If I make a mistake, I own it. When I said that Ernie wasn't sworn in, somebody said, yeah, he was. And I went back and watched it. And I'm like, oh, you're right. Thank you for correcting me. I said that immediately. So I take in all advice. Somebody just gave me some advice on how to word things a little differently, because they said that if people were talking to me in person and saw my facial expressions and everything, that they would understand better. So maybe I'm just not explaining it so much in writing. Ernie, I don't really know, other than Brad saying that Ernie was going to call him on the live when, now that was a lie. Clickbait. Ernie was never going to call Brad on the live. And Brad was told that Ernie was not going to call him. So I don't know. He's desperate for content, I think. Okay, and let's talk about John Paul Madden. He has some pretty serious charges as far as the drugs, meth, and I can't remember what the other thing was. God, I had pictures here anyway. So he was arrested in Kentucky, and I believe this was last year, and was waiting for extradition to Indiana. And then he went in the hospital, and they said they weren't going to pay his medical bills, so they let him go. So when he got out of the hospital, he went home. So now, recently, and I posted this, he was arrested again by the DEA and the U.S. Marshals and 5 different forces, he and another guy. And he just got let go again. He's out. Bonded out. His bond was $30,000 on the last charge. This says bond released to previous bond must appear in court in person in March. So Superior Court, and it gives the case number, pretrial conference at 3/24/26 at 1:15 p.m. in Indiana. So that's what's up with him. Will he ever have to face the music? Who knows? I'm not sure if, let's see what I got going on. Okay, so here's some things that I see this Genevieve. It's really weird. I told what happened in the hearing, and then she said, yeah, my comprehension was off. And then she went over to Degens, and he said the exact same thing. And she said, oh, that's exactly what I heard. Well, then why are you dogging me? It's really a little weird. It's not a competition. I guess I need to wait until he posts things first and okays it before I post anything. But as far as me saying Ernie wasn't sworn in, that was a mistake. I corrected it. And he's got me blocked on both my accounts, so I can't answer anything or respond to anything over there. Let's see. So Genevieve thinks that the policeman is going to sue Ernie in a civil action. Okay, I have a problem with that because Ernie doesn't own a pot to piss in. Why would you sue Ernie? Costs you a fortune, and you're not going to get a dime. Why would anybody do that? That just seems a little far-fetched to me. And they're going to have to prove that he was competent at the time of that event. And considering that the policeman's statements said that he was having an episode, I would think that would be a little hard to do unless they want to go back and change things. Okay, well, isn't this ironic? He perjured himself in Massachusetts. Actually, he did not perjure himself. There wasn't any perjury there at all in that whole thing. He admitted what he did. He pled guilty. And that's it. Let's see, he was asked a couple of questions. And, how far he went in school. He at least admitted that instead of, his other lies. Didn't he say he was born in Kentucky? Hi, Regina. Welcome. Yes. Oh, that was the very John Paul. Yep. And he testified that Ernie was a compulsive liar, and nobody believed him. He had very poor reputation for honesty, and yeah, pretty much all the relatives that testified, and ex-girlfriends of Ernie's. I think, I don't know, Shelby wants me to start posting some things from that trial. And I know a lot of people seem to think that Ernie was involved in that. Now, Ernie did tell 3 members of his family that he was the getaway driver in Jimbo's mother's house fire. And I think, I think, in my opinion, and what I know, that Ernie is kind of a helper. I know. He did. Hey, Mr. Nobody. He did claim that, but he did not. His lawyer was the one that put that out. And the lawyer is not subject to perjury when he's acting as an attorney in court. So should he have checked that? The lawyer in his last parole hearing didn't check anything either. Probation, sorry. I can't use the wrong word because I'll get crucified. And I think Genevieve posted posted that video of that hearing. But Ernie didn't. He might have told his lawyer those things. Now, the lawyer can't suborn perjury and let Ernie give testimony about things that are false, that he knows are false, which he should know they're false. But as far as the attorney saying those things, now, if he got told the truth, he would have to tell the court to correct him, but the case is over. The case is over. He got sentenced. He accepted the plea. Nothing's going to change at that point. It's all over but the crying. Let's see. 70 days left to serve on the plea deal. That's incorrect. 90 days minus 30, 28. No bond, no early release. He said the judge said he would be, eligible for probation at 45 days. So, and the hearing for the extradition is the 30th. He said, if Kentucky's not going to make good on the extradition, which the Commonwealth attorney told me that they would not go get him. So I don't know. There's some confusion there. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But as far as lowering his bail and letting him make his own way to Kentucky, I'm fairly certain that that's not going to happen. When have we seen that? He could have hey, Sister Callie. He could have already gone to Kentucky by himself when he was out. So, oh no, it's over. He's been sentenced. Case is done. He did that, didn't he? But that wasn't a material fact. Actually, none of it was a material fact. The prosecutor read the material facts. Ernie pled guilty. Well, he said that was mostly right. And the prosecutor said he was threatening suicide, which we all know was not true. And I think that's what Ernie meant when he said that. There was never any indication of that whatsoever. I don't know where they got that from. Didn't the prosecutor watch the live? Arkansas could. Yep. But, I hate to be the bearer of bad news there. But when I said that his trial was postponed until February, I got called a liar for that, even though his trial was postponed until February. So I heard he's just going to pay that fine and the court costs and lose his license for 6 months. So pretty sure that's what's going to happen there. I don't think the warrant is, I think that's going to be rescinded because he was in jail. So that's usually a pretty good reason to not show up. They can still enforce it, but it's not very likely that would happen. Had me the Ernie found love. Well, that should hold him for a while. He does seem kind of drawn to Chris's place, doesn't he? He goes there quite a bit. Been there 3 times, I think. Once when he was staying with Carolyn, when he disappeared for that day, he went down to Chris's. And that's a fact, so try to prove me wrong. I don't think so, Regina, and someone told me why he will not come out as gay, and it makes perfect sense to me. I don't want to say it because it involves someone else, and they are out, but they don't want me to mention their relationship with Ernie. But it made perfect sense. And, we are talking about Kentucky, right? They're not exactly open-minded and accepting about those kind of things. And, Ernie, he feels like he has a certain, I don't know, persona. He wants to be highly thought of, rescuing children, Kentucky Colonel, whatever else. So, yeah, I think I don't think he'll come out with it. Hi, Loving Life. Well, but remember, as soon as he, remember as soon as the very next day, didn't he say, oh, it's all, don't believe anything you see? That was when we saw the basement, right? So, yeah, I think I don't know what he's going to do. He's obviously still not going to leave YouTube. I don't think he's ever going to leave YouTube. Well, I said he'd go live from this casket. Seriously. Come back to life to go on YouTube. I don't know. I'd hope that his time in the mental institution would help, but he's got a compliance problem, so I don't know. I know, Regina. And there's enough people that talk. I mean, we all knew about Phil and Eric Rush and a couple other people. But he does seem to be, well, I was going to say monogamous, but yet he was on Grindr. But, you know, it wasn't like a one-night stand with any of them. I mean, he saw Eric for a couple of years. I don't know how long he was with Phil, but who knows how long Chris that would have went on. I don't know. Okay, somebody said that 4 times. Yep. Thanks, Mr. Nobody. Yeah, I don't know, Innocent. I could ask. Ernie, I don't know. I don't know if he's in protective custody or what, but actually, you know, when he was in Bridgewater, he really liked it. He said he liked it. He was happy there. And I can see that. I mean, you know, he gets medication, a place to sleep, clothes, you know, his extra supplements, shoes, probably as many shoes as he can lose. Hey, Fast and Feisty. Yeah, he doesn't need a license. He lost both of them. The veteran's license they confiscated in Arkansas, but he had that new one that they sent him that he was supposed to cut up the Arkansas one. So he had that new one, which is what they ran in, was it New York that he got run or Boston? No, Massachusetts they ran him, and Florida. So he had that one. Then I wonder if he still has that. That's an interesting question. Bigfoot. Too late now. Too late. Too late. 60 days. I don't know. He said he'd be eligible for probation in 45 days. But didn't it sound like 30 days? They're going to have that hearing. So I don't know. That's what Ernie had asked for. I know somebody said they didn't offer a plea deal, but they did. The first one was a year for everything. And his lawyer told him not to take that. And I guess that was a good thing because 90 days is a lot less than a year. I don't know, but Ernie, he's a rambling man. He likes to keep on the move, always. So somebody said he endangered the law enforcement officers' lives with, could have given them HIV. That's not true. You think people would understand HIV at this point, but apparently not. He does claim he's undetectable. He did show his blood work, and it did show that he was undetectable at one point. Now, I know people say he doesn't take his pills. Well, I know people that say he does take them religiously every morning. Everywhere he's been, he's got a bottle of Biktarvy. He gets them 3 at a time. So, I mean, I don't think we can say that he wasn't. However, HIV is not transmittable through urine or feces. So, He didn't endanger them. Contact with feces alone, such as cleaning, does not transmit HIV. HIV cannot be contracted from toilets or surfaces contaminated with feces. It's not spread through everyday casual contact. I'm kind of amazed that people don't know that. It's not transmitted through feces, urine, sweat, saliva, or tears. Does not survive well as outside the human body. Infection can occur through specific bodily fluids like blood, semen, or vaginal fluids. Now, I don't know if I believe Chris, since he lied about the drugs. Did he lie about the HIV? He certainly didn't seem very surprised. When I told Eric that he had HIV, Eric couldn't talk for a full 60 seconds. He was shocked. And then he had to, because Ernie at one point said he had it since 2013. So Eric had to think back. Now, Chris didn't seem fazed a bit, did he? I didn't think he did. He didn't, he does have it? That was it. Like, I'd be a little more worried about it than that. Oh, there's my HIV thing. Okay. Oh, okay. So they don't like it that I have a little more information than what has been let out publicly. Well, I'm sorry. He was from Buffalo Bill. Well, and especially after Chris gave his little interview there. Now, Brad claimed that he told Ernie about the interview and the grinder and everything, and that Ernie was shocked. But Amber said she had told him all that, and she said maybe he was just too out of it and didn't remember. Hard to tell with Ernie what's true and what's not. Exactly, Regina, and I think that's part of it. He likes to think he's a hero. I mean, his whole life has been based on building himself up and, save the world from a serial killer, rescues children and women. The sex, but yeah, that was gross. I think it's both, Mr. Nobody. I mean, he has been diagnosed with schizophrenia, dissociative disorder. That was kind of interesting when he had that guy come up on panel and talk about his dissociative disorder, I thought. And then some other things, which I feel I can say because Ernie begged me to talk about it. When he was in New York, he got diagnosed with a lot of different things. But, he was first involuntarily detained in a mental institution as a teenager. So it's not like, and I do have receipts for that. Thank you very much. I don't think I need to. Yeah, he did plead guilty. Yep, he admitted it. Welcome, Black Hills. African American. That I don't know, Wendy. I don't know. Amber never got it back. So did a YouTuber go and get it? I know Sierra said that she had thought about going to get it. She was going to go with that clean urine stash guy. So I don't know. I think his wallet is gone. 4-night stand. Oh, did he? I don't know. I don't have any, I don't know. I don't have any information about that, but someone did clean out his PayPal account of $3,600, I believe. And that's been reported. Yes, he did. He did. However, Dejan said that none of the charges were dropped. That is false. And he played the hearing, Count 4 was dropped. Ernie was originally charged with 5 counts of assault and battery, and he just pled guilty to 4. Count 4 was dropped. I heard originally 2 counts were dropped, but obviously when a guy changed his mind, maybe it was the one that got hurt, although I don't know, but he only pled guilty to counts 1, 2, 3, and 5. So 1 was definitely dropped, and they talked about that a couple of times during the hearing. So you guys can go Yep. Yes. But yeah, you're right. It could be from that. That's why women don't often get it unless they have sex with a guy, but lesbians, that's almost unheard of. Because I know a lot of lesbians. I worked with a lot of lesbians. He looked pretty thin, didn't he? When he was at Chris's, I thought he did. He didn't look good. But I don't know. Hey, Renee. I wondered that too. But we don't want to say that. He did speak to Brad before his live. He did. That somebody facilitated that, and he did talk to Brad. How, I don't know, because Brad said he couldn't download Securus, and he wanted somebody who had it on their phone to come up on a live and call Ernie. That was yesterday. But he called him, said he promised he wouldn't play it, and he said, Ernie's going to call me in a minute on the live, and that was false. Ernie was actually told that, or Brad was told that Ernie was not going to call him. Ernie's afraid because Brad's the one that got him in the hole at Three Forks. Remember? He didn't know. He said he didn't know he was live. There could be. That's right, but I would think the chances are very low, actually. And they knew. They knew he had HIV. I told them when I called. I just felt like that was something they should know because he did have a knife. Only an idiot? I'm not sure what that's about. Oh my goodness, Fast and Feisty. Aren't you feisty tonight? I think his fan is sus too. Family. Can we see the paperwork? What paperwork would you like to see? The involuntary commitment? I could put that out. What else do you want me to put out? Put out how count 5 was dismissed. I could put that out too. Sure. I'd like it if everybody had to put out receipts, but that doesn't seem to. Like that's never going to happen. Here, Tarek said he told everyone he wasn't going to go away for years. Yeah, he wasn't going to go away for years. It just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen like you think it should. I mean, a case before Ernie's, she had assault and battery and 3 officers, and they just let her go and told her to avoid that area. So, yeah, Massachusetts isn't. Stolen valor. That I think compared to some other things he's done, but I guess, I don't know, my dad was a veteran, but he doesn't use it or have a veteran's license or license plate or anything. He said he feels like that's bragging. So I don't really think that would bother him. I mean, it doesn't affect him or, cast a shadow on him. But if he's stolen valor and people have proof, why don't they report it? They said that was a new law, right? That you could report that as a crime. His PO just said he couldn't do anything about it because he couldn't lay any new charges on Ernie. That was the PO in Kentucky. And why doesn't somebody report it? I mean, you can't, they're not going to take that into account when he's charged with these other things, because he's not charged with that. You can only try him and sentence him on what he's charged with. You can't say, well, he did this and he did that. Medway police said after he got arrested, people called and said he was involved in a murder. He was involved in arson and what else? One other thing. Wasn't robbed a bank, but I don't know. Just, he raped somebody. So, I mean, those are just allegations, unfounded allegations, right? And they're not going to consider that with anything. They read all the charges he had in the different states. Virginia, Georgia, I forget. Or was it West Virginia? Yeah, he did. And then he made that little video about how to steal DoorDash. Remember, he said when the DoorDash driver comes, just say, "Oh, are you DoorDash?" And then just take the food. He was laughing at that too. He thought that was funny. 9.3 and 6.4. I don't know what that means. How many views? What got? Oh, I missed something. So the thing is, people are rarely charged with perjury, but it has to be related to a material fact. And there wasn't any question of any material fact. I mean, Ernie pled guilty. He admitted he did it. He admitted he did all of it. So there wasn't anything that was related to that. So, and the attorney, they're not subject to perjury. So, and anything Ernie said was the truth, unbelievably. Oh, yeah. It's been awfully quiet, hasn't it? Awfully quiet. And I thought it was kind of funny when all these people that say, oh, Ernie needs to disappear off YouTube and he needs to go away and don't give him validation and don't talk to him in chat. But when Brad said he'd heard from Ernie, they were all over there in chat. So evidently they are interested in Ernie, because that didn't go over very big. Okay, so degenerate. I don't know what the obsession with me is with all the liars on YouTube. And there's a lot of them that lie on the daily. I didn't lie. In order to lie, it has to be malicious and it has to be intentional. So I don't lie. I may mistake something or be mistaken, but I don't lie. Ever. And if someone points out something that was wrong, I admit it. I don't have a problem doing that. I've done it more than once. Well, so Loving Life, do you think that's from the drugs or from the mental illness? Because a lot of people claim he's not mentally ill. It's just the drugs, but he doesn't seem to be on the drugs all the time. I don't know. Let's see. What else we got here? Why can't he be charged for perjury? I think I explained that. He did not tell any lies under oath. That was his lawyer. Stolen valor. Well, he can be charged for that if somebody has proof. So, but you can't just say it. And Ern. Hey, Goya. I kind of like calling him Skern, but I know he didn't like that. Okay, here's perjury. Client responsibility. If the client is aware that the attorney is presenting false evidence, the client is participating in the deception and can face criminal charges. But like I said, his lies did not relate to a material fact as far as the charges. I doubt that the judge took into consideration any of that craziness. He seemed like he already had his mind made up, didn't he? He said he wasn't going to give him 45, he was going to give him 90. And so then he let him confer with the lawyer because he wasn't following his plea. So at that point, Ernie has the option to withdraw his guilty plea, which he didn't. His lawyer did offer him to, go to trial and plead criminal irresponsibility. But that would take a while. Ernie would be in there much longer because they'd have to, go through all the pretrial and everything. And that would just put it out a lot longer. So, and that takes a while. You have to prove he wasn't in his right mind at the time. The law enforcement statements all said he was not in his right mind, or indicated that, thinking people were hiding. How many times did you check the bathroom drawers or the bathroom cabinet? Thought people were hiding in the fireplace. Oh, you know what? I could post that. Colon cleanse. I could post his receipt, his DoorDash receipt, for the 2 or 4 pack of lube. And what else did he get? I don't know. He didn't get condoms. He got 2 things delivered when he was there. I do have that receipt too. Okay. The false information must be material, relevant, and capable of influencing the case to constitute perjury. And that was not an issue. There was no, nobody contested any of the material facts. Ernie pled guilty, so it wasn't like a trial. And yes, he was sworn in. There was a couple of disruptions during the trial. They muted a couple times, and they also cut in and asked us to identify ourselves. So that was kind of weird. And I haven't had that happen before. I don't know what they thought, and they didn't question anybody being in there, so I don't know. Okay, here's somebody that's a defendant can be held liable if their attorney makes a false claim about military service at sentencing. Attorneys are forbidden from knowingly presenting false evidence to the court. That is absolutely true. They cannot let their client testify if they know that they're going to testify to something that is not true. It's called suborning perjury. Occasionally you'll see a lawyer ask to be dismissed because they don't, and they don't usually ask the client if they did it or not because they don't want to know, because then they're limited in what they can present as an alibi. So it's better to not know. Perjury requires making a knowingly false statement under oath. So nobody did that in this trial, despite the fact that no, Goya, I haven't ever talked to that Chris. No, that's not me. No, I don't have any interest in, calling up people in there. Let's see. None of the charges, assault and battery charges, were dropped. Okay, we know that was false. And I can definitely prove that. Yep. What else do we have? That might be it. Oh, wait. Oh, this is Candace. Okay. So Degen made a long AI post. Don't you think it's kind of weird that I just like make a mistake and he spends a couple days writing songs and making book-length AI posts about me? Just seems a little obsessive, but I guess they don't have anybody else to talk about. I mean, and this is the group that Katie outright lied, knowingly, even though we had receipts, and they stuck with her all that time. So it seems a little odd that colon cleanser, squatty potty, condoms. He's not really a famous spokesman, though, in spite of the fact that he claims he had so many million views on some Facebook Live or something. I don't know. That's kind of nuts. What did he? Oh, he made a really long post about a lawyer. Lawyer will not talk to anybody, people that think they have inside information. Well, that's true, but if they get permission, the lawyer can definitely talk to someone. So there you go. And I don't think the lawyer's going to be lying to person that's, acting as power of attorney or next of kin. Especially when Ernie's doesn't usually think clearly. I think so. It's weird. And telling people not to believe anything unless he posts it. Sorry, but I do know things and they have proven to be true. So I don't know what the problem is. Just because things aren't going the way that you guys would like. One person said in Kentucky, Ernie's going to do 5 years for every time he left Kentucky when he was delivering in the van. That's not true. He's not charged with any of that. He had permission. And yeah, people were complaining that he never saw his mom. He lied and said that he needed to take care of his mom. His mom is very sick, although I don't like to talk about it, but he has definitely seen his mom. He saw his mom before he went to Minnesota. So no receipts for any of that. And those are outright lies. So, I mean, why do people just say this stuff? With no proof, and it's not even true. I don't understand that. He has seen his mom. Yeah, but I don't know. Go over and listen to Nick Lena because she did that interview with him. I don't really care to hear that gory stuff. I don't know, some of that stuff, like when Callie was talking about Katie and all that. I had to leave. I couldn't listen to that. I don't like those huge invasions of privacy, actually, and or talking about people's sex lives or making memes of people making fun of body parts or their looks. That's just not me. Your argument is lost the minute you do that. That's just childish and ridiculous. So, yeah, narcissism. Yeah, but what about me? What about the attacking me? I don't understand that. Yeah, talk about what you have, show your receipts, but just going overboard on me. I didn't lie. So, and saying that Ernie's trial wasn't postponed when it was. Yeah, I do have some inside information. I guess people don't appreciate that, even when it turns out to be true. I don't know. Somebody said that all my information comes from Amber, who gets it from Ernie, and he's a liar. She doesn't get her information from Ernie. Sorry. That's not true either. And let's show some receipts there if you think that's true. That's not true. There's a lot of stuff said that isn't true. No, I can't. For one thing, I don't call people like that. I don't know. I don't want to hear that. And if Chris is lying, I don't know. I know the police, um, did say that, Chris's house that they knew very well what went on at Chris's and Mark's, and that Chris's house, his basement was much, much worse. It had sex swings and all kinds of weird sex stuff, which, whatever floats your boat, right? Um, most of my gay friends are not into that kind of stuff. They're more monogamous, but I have known some that are, so I guess whatever you want. I mean, straight people use sex swings too, so. But they actually did think Ernie was drugged and sexually abused at first, so I don't think that's out of the ordinary for what went on there with other people. They said they knew exactly what went on and were very familiar with what went on in those houses. And they asked Chris where Mark was, so and just walked right in, didn't they? So I don't know, but people's sex lives aren't really of interest to me. Oh, yeah, Nicolina called and interviewed him. Yeah, that basement, it did kind of look like a sex pit, didn't it? But at least it didn't have a lot of equipment down there. Gross. Like, I don't know, working at UPS, you see all that stuff, like those hydraulic dildos, that can, I don't know, high powered in and out. And they'd come in boxes that were labeled and had pictures and told exactly. That would be embarrassing as hell. Thankfully, I never had to deliver those. I did have a pickup for 2 slightly used vibrators that were just in a plastic sandwich bag on the porch. I'm like, no, put it in a box and I'll come back tomorrow. I'm not picking up a plastic bag with used vibrators in it. Sorry. That's about, and one guy had big, huge black dildos and gay porn magazines. They accidentally busted open. That was a long time ago. And you had to get a signature back then. And I know the guy's name and address. That's burned into my memory. And he never had to sign for another package again. Just threw it between the doors and ran. I don't know. Okay, so I think that's all. Yeah. Oh, the stories I could tell. The stories I could tell. Yeah. You heard of women sleeping with the, I don't know, plumber or the refrigerator repairman. Those things happen. They honestly do. Believe it or not. And some drivers take them up on it. So, I think that's all. I think that's all I have to say. Thanks everybody for being here. I appreciate you. I appreciate my mods too, more than I can say. You guys are always right on it. I appreciate everybody in chat, that follows my rules and don't make fun of people looks or call people names. I always have a great chat. Loving life. So appreciate you being here. I might get the Ellen Greenberg thing done by tomorrow. I gotta leave town Tuesday morning though, so I'm gonna be gone for a while again. Real life stuff. I might be moving, which is gonna be a chore. I hate to even think about it. I got I think 7 bookcases. Books are heavy, I'll tell you. And we're talking hardcover books, not paperbacks. So, I wish I could afford to pay somebody. Maybe I'll throw up a GoFundMe moving fund. Anyway, what? Okay. The other day, my boyfriend bought a purse. Why don't you pick it up? Yeah. Oh, I think these people must be bored or don't have a very active social life, or I don't know, just like a little excitement. Can you imagine just like, oh, I could tell a story about me and they'll probably make memes about it. I used to, when I get sick, when I get the flu, I always end up in the hospital, always. And so when you're during peak, which you cannot call in sick to peak, and I did because my doctor said I had a couple of different respiratory illnesses, and then I had the flu. So I had a knock on the door, and I got up to answer it. And, I thought, oh, I'll just like lean around the door, right? Sign for the package. And it was a coworker. And right at the last minute, something made me grab a pair of shorts and throw them on. Well, I passed out, landed on my face, broke my glasses, cut my face up. I had to have stitches, and woke up to him on the phone calling 911. Can you imagine if I would have passed out on the floor in front of a coworker with no pants on? I never would have been able to go back to work. People don't like to have me mention God, but I truly believe God watches out for us. So anyway, thanks everybody, and good night, and have a good week. Right? Yes, have a good week. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.